Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice and to My Choice Tuesday. Today we're going to be diving into a little bit of music history, not too far back, but back to where heavy metal began. I somehow missed out on that beginning, so this is going to be my first time listening to Iron Maiden with lead vocalist Bruce Dickinson. I can't place the sound of Iron Maiden anywhere. I don't think I've heard it on the radio. Maybe I have once or twice. And I also am not familiar with Bruce Dickinson, but I do know that he flies their tour jet, which is extra, extra awesome. So this really will be a first-time reaction for me. And they're going to be performing a song called Hallowed Be Thy Name. Note, hallowed is pronounced hallowed when not said in the Lord's Prayer. Otherwise, it would be hallowed. I bring this tip to you from Google. Thank you so much for that pronunciation, Google search engine. And without further ado, let's get to it. Wait. I feel like somebody must have heard me do that tip about him flying the jet, because that's the plane, and I hope that was Bruce Dickinson flying it. I don't know, but that's probably just some really strange coincidence. Let's hear some music. A first initial impression of Bruce Dickinson's voice is that he has excellent enunciation. I did read the lyrics once through before starting this. It's about a man who is on death's row. He's going to die very soon. And I know he experiences some fear throughout this piece as well. So I'm going to be looking for those words too. But I wouldn't have needed to read those lyrics because his enunciation is just so clear. I'm also really enjoying the sound of the bell in there. It really even mentions the bell. It feels like the last few minutes of death or of life are just ticking by as he's awaiting his death. Ooh, it's very dark.
'Cause at 5 o'clock they take me to the gallows. Yeah. The sands of time from me are running.
Ooh, that was a really cool transition. I like the way he held that low note on the word low too. He just held it, extended it out. There was some very nice free vibrato that entered it that tells you he has a good balance in vocal strength and relaxation where he's able to pull off of it a little bit. But you hear, I loved the way it just continued to linger as the instruments really started going. Really, really enjoyed that. Also, what are his pants made of? That it almost looked like dragon scales or something. They look super cool. Okay, one more time on that transition. That was really nice. Now back a little further. That, just FYI, his low note going up high, that was some nice range that he covered. But also I was really interested in the way that he stood up when he went to that high note. Often when you stand, you can sort of actually sink into your breath support more. It's one of the reasons that people really like to stand when belting really high notes. Okay. Oh, yeah. His enunciation is awesome. It's way harder to enunciate when you're high like that. It almost reminds you of the kind of enunciation that's necessary if a person is singing operetta, like Gilbert and Sullivan, I am the very model of a modern major general. That song, if you want like patter enunciation, that's a really good reference. Or you could just listen to Bruce Dickinson. He's really fantastic. So much energy in each of the consonants that he's making. He's really able to spit them out. But at the same time, those consonants aren't destroying his line. He's really clearly on the pitch and able to drive like this steady, it's almost consistent vibrations. He's pattering the consonants with tons of energy on top without destroying his vocal line. Very cool. Also, that was a lot of belting. And they've been doing this concert for a while. He's already sweaty. That was a cool instrumental switch up right there. It sounds like they're keeping the same tempo time signature all along, and they're just elongating a bunch of different notes in there, which makes it feel like the time signature has shifted. But I don't think it did. I think it just gave us a very different texture for a moment. And also, I'm really liking the guitar lines. They feel, they're very sticky. They're easy to remember. Listen to this transition between those two sections again. Yeah, so I think that whole time we were still in 4/4. It was just a really nice shift in feeling something instead of just having a wall of sound the entire time. It's like they're like, hey, no, but listen to this cool guitar melody. Whoa. Wow. He is able to just keep on belting. That kind of consistent belting up high with that much energy, that takes so much body support to do and not just destroy your voice. One of the things that's helping him, check this out. Let's see if I can catch a nice, yeah, you can see it right there. He has such a wide stance. Like he is in the stage. He's not hovering on top of it. No, he's pulling that energy up from in the stage. This is one of the things that is very consistent across amazing singers who have had very sustained careers. Look at how they ground into the stage. That means that when they breathe, they're not just thinking about their lungs and expanding their lungs. They're thinking about sending their breath all the way down into the ground. That will help them to support their voice when it's on the way out and their breath control. This is really, really amazing. I love the powerful, not only the stance he has, but he also has his arms out a lot. That helps continue lung expansion in the back as well, so that the air doesn't just poof out and smack the vocal cords. Man, it's really impressive how he is continuing to drive through these sounds. He even went up higher at one point. Ugh. I'm going to go back and listen to this one more time because I was listening more to some of the lyrics this time. Something about life being a strange illusion. I love the way it was all up high, strange illusion, and the way he slides down. That makes it feel like it's a little bit more of an illusion. He also just sounds like a man in desperate need and with desperate emotions. I am loving the desperation that I hear in his voice. What a great tone quality and the right feeling to bring to this piece. Ooh, okay, listen to this moment on illusion and how he styles it. So definitely tempo shift there, slowed down. The other thing that I'm listening to a bunch right now are all of the different toms. This drum kit, and the drummer is using a lot of toms. They have some really nice pitch set for them. He's making use of all of them. These guys have so much energy. They've been around for a long time. How do they still have so much energy? This is insane. And they also just seem to really love each other. I love seeing the camaraderie and the play on stage. They seem like they all just love being in that spotlight and want to share that joy with everyone. Or maybe not just the joy, but just the extreme emotions. And they probably really enjoy interacting with the audience too. Whoa. Is this a level in Guitar Hero? For some reason, I heard that. I was like, I think maybe I have heard this before. Maybe it was in Guitar Hero. Maybe it was something similar. Not sure. If it is, definitely comment on that below. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, we got to go back and talk about that crowd participation there and the way that Bruce was conducting them. Just like a conductor in an orchestra. I loved that he wasn't trying to speak those directions to them. He was just so animated and big with his motion, so they were really clear and they could follow him exactly in that sort of wave scream, I guess. But the other thing that made me almost pause right away was when he jumped up on the monitors. If you watch him jump up here, that's not a really big platform. If I were in that position, I would probably jump on it and then promptly fall off of it. But he stuck that landing very nicely. Just gave me a little extra heartbeat moment. Check out that jump one more time. No, okay, let's go back a little further. Boop, here. Let's try here. There we go. He's not on the monitors yet. He comes running out. And jumps up. Oh, he did go on the balls of his feet a little bit before sticking it. Wow. Most singers at this point would be taking a moment to rest. Do you see how sweaty he is? He's not resting for a single moment, though. He's like, no. I'm not singing, but I'm going to go be extremely active on stage and get this crowd riled up. Yeah, this guy is full of energy. Yeah, okay, I think that's the end. I could not stop him. Once he got going there, he was carrying it so much. There was no good place to stop. I try to stop a lot of times and really catch little moments. We're going to go back and look at it again. But wow, I loved, he's just singing, yeah, at the end. I really wonder what Hallowed Be Thy Name. I wonder what they were thinking about those lyrics. Yeah, I'm curious about what that was envisioned by the original writers. But his voice just kept going and the energy kept going. There was never a moment where it felt like it really let down. So let's go back and check it out one more time. Okay, so it's after the crowd moments. Wow. Wow, that was an intense last couple of minutes of this song. Okay, so two things here. One that I'm not in love with, and that is I don't like seeing his jaw move with the vibrato as much. That's considered to not necessarily the best thing for vibrato. Vibrato should be a motion of relaxation. And when you move your jaw, it actually adds a little bit of tension to it. But there are plenty of really fantastic singers that use this method of vibrato. Just not my personal favorite. However, the thing that is incredible that he's continuing to do, he's supporting his voice so well with full body engagement. It almost sounds like he's like shouting, but with great technique. And that is essentially what a lot of opera singers do. When they are belting really killer high extended passages, it's basically like screaming for long periods of time and trying to make it sound pretty. And Bruce is essentially shouting for long periods of time, and he sounds great. He sounds really great. It sounds pained but strong at the same time. And okay, I know, I'm sorry, I'm nerding out about this a little bit, but in Name, the word name is often not said with a really wide open mouth. One of the things that new singers tend to struggle with the most is just opening their mouth more. A lot of people want to have more control of their sound, and they think that they'll get more control of their singing by essentially tightening and clamping down on their jaw. So they would say name instead of name. And Bruce here is like, name. His mouth is so open. It's great. It's fantastic. That is how open your mouth should be when you're singing really, really well. Look at this. His mouth opening is fantastic. That was a fantastic extended note. And this, from my impression of the vocal timbre, what he's doing here, he really sounded excited. He's playing this guy that just died, I think, at this point. He sounds excited, relieved, happy almost. Like there's some sort of release here at the end. That's fascinating. The way he's singing those yeahs, it's not like, oh no, I've died, but it's like, yeah, I've died instead. Wow, what an interesting juxtaposition right there. Listen to this extended note one more time. It sounds like a huge release, even though it's extremely long. What an amazing instrumental ending with fire and fireworks. Whew. Well, that was invigorating about a guy who just died. What an interesting juxtaposition, again, between the dread of being on death row and then the release at the end. Fascinating writing. By the way, if you guys hear a cricket right now, I think it just wanted to sing along. That is my local office cricket that lives apparently behind my desk against the wall where we can't shoo him away. So sorry if there's a little cricket that's singing along with Iron Maiden today. This was a fantastic performance. I'm very, very impressed by Bruce Dickinson's, really his endurance. His endurance is crazy. He is singing so full the entire time. The man has cords of steel, cords of iron, and I am just so also blown away by his enunciation. It has just so much energy and really concentrated energy in all of his consonants. That is really, really hard to achieve. That takes a lot of practice. Definitely ability that you have to develop over time, and that is incredibly impressive. So, yeah, I get what people are talking about now, and he's been doing this for a very, very long time already. That's super impressive. It's so much fun to actually get to discover the roots of heavy metal. Thank you, all of you, for making this suggestion. And please continue to make more suggestions down below. We do read them and we go through them. And there are days when I'll pick just the top suggestion, and there are days where I'll go through some of your suggestions and read a little bit more about them and try to figure out which one I want to do next. So keep writing those down below, and definitely come and say hello to me on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. Arizona time here on YouTube during video premieres, or you can find me on Patreon or on thecharismaticvoice.com. I'll see you guys somewhere else soon.